Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi, on sign language Dorothy Namuyomba. Let's take a look at the top stories. President Museveni launches Malaba Toro SGR construction. Chinese government donates 1,600 metric tons of rice to the Karamoja sub-region. While Uganda assumes leadership of East Africa Local Government Association. And Joseph Kony ICC charges hearing to be brought to Uganda. Hello, once again, let's dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has emphasized the need for a complete overhaul of Uganda's transport system to achieve the country's long-awaited economic transformation. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the 273-kilometer SGR route in Toro district, President Museveni noted that the current state of major roads in the country is disastrous and requires urgent realignment.
Received by the Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo, President Yoweri Museveni has been in Toro district this Thursday. The President was on a trip to officiate the groundbreaking ceremony of the 273-kilometer Malaba Kampala standard gauge railway project.
The Ugandans have been indirectly paying for the high prices of the commodities due to high prices of transportation of these commodities. So with this line coming up, we very know we are connecting Tanzania, we are connecting Kenya through this Malaba route. We shall get the cargo in the country at a very reduced cost.
Yapi Mackenzie, a taxi company, has been contracted by the government of Uganda to oversee the project.
We are incredibly proud to bring our over 50 years of experience in rail construction to this endeavor.
Therefore, we are more than happy to be part of Uganda's journey towards welfare and prosperity.
We are going to work with the Ministry of Investment, Ministry of Works, to prepare our people for the employment opportunity that is going to come.
The project aims at easing connectivity among countries in the East African corridor.
The planned standard gauge rail network will connect the capitals of the respective partner states and Mombasa port, which is our main entry port on the northern corridor.
Your Excellency, most importantly, the project will enhance our country in attracting foreign investors and thereby impacting positively on our economy through the creation of more jobs and wealth and industries.
This eastern route will not be the last, but the government of Uganda intends to bring on board other regional routes.
But we shall continue from Kampala to Mpondwe and from somewhere on the western line to Kigali, if our brothers in Kigali work with us. And then from here to South Sudan, up to the border, and then we shall see how our brothers work with us from there.
According to the President, it is high time the transport sector of Uganda to be realigned.
Omujuzo ku luguudo, buli omu ali ku luguudo, omutamiivu ali ku luguudo, atalina kyakola ali ku luguudo, omulogo ali ku luguudo, ambulance etwala omulwadde mu ddwaliro eri ku luguudo. This is the ebimotoka ebyetisa amafuta aga petroli agakabenje biri ku luguudo.
Museveni notes that the overhaul of the transport system of the country will come along with changes in transit, allocation of goods and services.
The petroleum, we are going to make pipelines. We are going to make a pipeline from Kenya through Uganda to Congo, and also another pipeline to Tanzania. So amafuta Petroleum will have to go through the pipeline. We will not save motoka bya petrol ku luguudo.
This development will not spare the passengers.
Abagagga bagenda kutambulira mu nyonyi. Abana ne batuvaako ne batulekera oluguudo ffe ba mwananchi.
Museveni further says Kampala's transport systems also needs a general overhaul.
Buno omujuzo gwa boda biki ebyo nabyo time will come, because now like in Kampala we introduced a passenger train.
The beauty about the new standard gauge railway, it will reduce on the costs and also save time.
Abakola business wano, abakola ebyamaguzi wano mu Uganda bagenda kwanguyirwa. We shall lower the cost of doing business in Uganda.
With such developments on ground, the government now intends to shift attention on how best Ugandans can access business capital across the entire country. Rhoda Ngonzi, UBC News.
Now, the Chinese government has donated 1,600 metric tons of rice to the Karamoja sub-region. The Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lezong, announced food relief to the hunger-stricken region this morning during a meeting with the Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi.
Karamoja sub-region has always faced a problem of food shortage resulting from erratic rainfall, forcing the communities into starvation and death. Despite government intervention to deal with the problem, food insecurity has remained high, and over 70% of the communities live below the poverty line. The region is faced with malnutrition, with 35% of the children getting stunted. Now, the Chinese government has come to their aid. The Chinese have donated 1,600 metric tons of rice to the people of Karamoja. The Chinese ambassador to Uganda, Zhang Lezong, announced this relief donation today during a meeting with the Prime Minister of Uganda, Rhoda Ngonzi.
There will be 4 shipping batches. So the first shipping batch amount to 500 tons. 500 tons. They have already been shipped to the Shanghai.
I want to first of all to thank you for the support you have given our country and the support you have given to my office. I want to thank you for the support you have given to the people of Karamoja. I am told you have food worth 1,600 tons, which you want us to receive.
However, the Prime Minister advised the Chinese to consider buying rice from Uganda to allow Ugandan rice growers also benefit.
We have a lot of rice in the country, which might even be cheaper. I think next time they come to the company should help us to boost the economy. They could get rice from within the country. Like a World Food Program nowadays, no longer export or import food.
The Chinese ambassador promised that by December this year, the first batch of the rice is expected to arrive for distribution by the Office of the Prime Minister.
According to the plan, the first batch of rice will be shipped from China in December. The rest of food will be shipped after this. Anyway, depending on the availability of the Uganda side. So these, because they are ready to be shipped, so this batch of assistance cannot be delayed. So it will be going as planned.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also hosted the speakers of the urban councils under their umbrella body, the Uganda Urban Council Speakers Association, who paid a courtesy call to her office in Kampala.
Our own like this. Okay. And we want to mobilize this time around, you will see. And we promise you, you are going to see our mobilization. Because we are always now, this one is closer to us now.
The Uganda Urban Council Speakers Association, yes. The executive, I'm happy to be with you. I want to inform you that when I look at young people like you, I look at future prime ministers. You are speakers right now. You are representing your people in your respective capacities. You never know. take advantage of all these trainings you are going through, because you are being prepared for bigger things in the future. Because all of you are still young. Wherever you are given an opportunity to serve, serve to your best. Serve. But you also have to note that we have this environment that has enabled us to serve and grow in our political ranks because of the peace. The peaceful environment that has been ushered in by the NRM government and more so the president. Uganda is lucky to have that man. Wherever you are, protect him like you protect your eye. Jealously. Jealously. I am being sincere to you.
Asante sana.
Now, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Magezi, has urged East African Community member states to establish special vote in the East African Community Assembly to handle local government matters. While taking over the chairmanship of the East Africa Local Government Association, Magezi committed to restructure the organs of the associations to match the current demands of the community.
At the 8th East African Local Government Forum, Uganda assumed the chairmanship of the association from Tanzania. The Ugandan Minister for Local Government, Raphael Magezi, was elected as the chairperson for the next 2 years.
I'm here by officially handling the trophy of chairpersonship to Honorable Raphael Magezi.
Magezi pledged to lead fundamental reforms within the East African community and called on member states to establish a local government vote in the East African Legislative Assembly.
Members of the Technical Coordination Committee, member states to adjust the procedure for electing the EALA representatives, and this should include at least 3 to be elected directly from the counties and local governments.
He also urged member states to create protocols for resolving disputes and finding ways to promote the community's agendas at domestic level.
When the countries, states, provinces, districts, communes, sub-counties, grassroots structures fully embrace their call to join and benefit in the ESC, the region will have a stronger force to champion the integration process. It calls for formulating local protocols that can be escalated to the ESC through the due processes of individual partner countries, to develop customized in-country mechanisms to popularize the ESC.
The outgoing leadership highlighted challenges, particularly the limited funding from member states and the undermining of community agreements.
Improve the financing of the work of EA, CLGA and EALGF, including the annual forum, by providing the existence of a dedicated vote in the national budgets at both ministry and the national umbrella body to ensure regular and timely payment of annual subscription fees and the funding for activities and programs.
The new leadership of the East African Community Local Government Association is committed to advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals with a primary focus on climate change and the free movement of goods and services across the community while leveraging on regional and international markets. Abdul Nasir Lubama and Jimmy Akashemeza for UBC.
By law established, I further swear that I will, to the best of my judgment,
the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, Rhoda Ngonzi, has criticized the nature of the arrest of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Rhoda claims that such increasing actions compromise the universal rights and security of persons within the East African community. Dr. Kizza Besigye was charged and remanded to prison by the court-martial on suspicions of possessing guns and ammunition. On Wednesday, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Baryomonsi, guided on the extradition laws which give way to such a situation.
The former leader of the Forum for Democratic Change, Kizza Besigye, was on Wednesday charged and remanded to Ruzira prison. Dr. Kizza Besigye and friend Haj Obed Kamulegea are accused of processing firearms, which led to their arrest in Kenya on Saturday. The Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs, Rhoda Ngonzi, in a press conference at Parliament, says such acts within the East African community have continued resurfacing without extradition proceedings.
A while ago, as we were interrogating MPs from the Democratic Republic of Congo, they also raised the concerns that their constituents or their population has concerns over the East African community, whether it is a realistic framework to protect all nationals and citizens of East Africa.
Rhoda draws examples from a similar move, which involving some FDC Katonga function youth who were detained and later charged in the same manner.
You owe the people of Uganda and the people of Kenya clarity. How then could this have happened for someone who crossed formerly the boundaries of Uganda and Kenya, entered Kenya, now to resurface in the hands of Uganda security organs without any record of extradition proceedings if he was actually wanted on criminal charges and offences?
Such arrests, according to Kony, the Chadondo East Member of Parliament, compromise human rights and personal security within the East African community.
Ugandans are now scared in Kenya, and Kenyans are scared of visiting Uganda. Equally, other nationals within the East African community have reservations and concerns.
He has urged both governments to observe the requisite norms of extradition for all persons upon request by any state. Speaking to the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Baryomunsi, the extradition orders are clear on such kinds of arrests.
From anywhere, because countries have treaties or instruments that they sign between them that allow for extradition. For instance, if you committed a crime and the state is looking for you and they find you in country X, through a collaborative arrangement with the government there, you can be arrested and brought back into the country. So being arrested from Kenya would not be a problem.
Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gwitabinji, Parliament.
And the Ministry of ICT is one of the fastest growing in the country, employing over 1.3 million people. This is revealed by Minister for Information and Communications Technology, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, during the National ICT Job Fair 2024 happening from that has been running and will run till the 22nd of November.
Officially, flag of the third ICT National Fair.
The purpose of this year's ICT Job Fair is to address the challenge of youth unemployment and bring ICT opportunities.
That we continue to enjoy Huawei and the Ministry and the Government of Uganda, and we salute you for the many interventions that you are championing in this country. We thank the Ambassador China to Uganda representing your country. We appreciate the partnership that we have as the government of Uganda and the government of China, and we shall continue to strengthen that.
And individuals, young people, to connect talent with opportunity. We are also using the job fair to be able to address one of the pressing challenges of our time in Uganda, which is unemployment.
Government is putting in efforts to address the challenges affecting ICT, like internet costs, among others.
There is still much to do. However, our government remains committed to addressing these challenges in the ICT sector, such as reducing the cost of internet access. We shall reduce it. Increasing digital device affordability.
The steady progress of the ICT sector in Uganda is appreciated both nationally and internationally.
The previous two have been very successful and have provided many job opportunities to the students who are interested in the ICT sector. And today I had the opportunity to tour around and have seen these various ICT products I feel Uganda is making great progress.
This year's ICT Job Fair theme is shaping Uganda's digital future, bridging skills, innovation and opportunity. Winnie Ainembabaz Katwire and Kalisha Stephen for UBC.
The Office of the Prosecutor at the International Criminal Court, ICC, has revealed that it wants the hearing of the confirmation of charges against the Lord's Resistance Army leader Joseph Kony held in Uganda. The International Cooperation Advisor in the Office of the Prosecutor at the ICC, Toro Sant Anna, says this is intended to bring the case closer to the affected communities. The confirmation of charges hearing is intended to, among others, authenticate the evidence gathered so far against Joseph Kony before he is committed for trial.
The Office of the Prosecutor at the International Criminal Court has this Thursday updated Ugandans and the victims in particular of the infamous Lord's Resistance Army war on the progress of the case against Joseph Kony. During a media engagement held in Kampala, officials from the Office of the Prosecutor revealed that plans to bring the hearing of the confirmation of charges to Uganda are ongoing.
We indeed submitted our request for the judge's consideration because we believe it's good for the hearing to take place closer to the affected communities. And in making such requests, we've asked to consider Kampala as a location, Gulu or Lira.
The session that is to be held in Joseph Kony's absentia is purely geared at weighing the evidence to establish whether it's enough to warrant a trial against the accused.
Confirmation of charge hearing is not a trial. The trial will only take place when Joseph Kony surrenders or is arrested and brought before the court. And as a result, this hearing will only take place for a few days, and if the charges are confirmed, it means that we just have to wait until he is arrested or surrender for the trial to take place.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Prosecutor has filed the necessary documents containing the charges, 33 counts of crimes against humanity and war crimes, with keen interest on the attacks made on former IDP camps and the abductions.
And for the first time, we have included children born in captivity within the coercive environment of the LRA as direct victims.
It's close to 20 years since the International Criminal Court preferred charges against the elusive Joseph Kony. The Lord's Resistance Army leader risks getting a maximum of 30 years in prison or a life sentence on conviction.
In the event Joseph Kony dies, it means that we won't have a proceeding, and therefore, in the absence of any conviction, there won't be any reparation given to the victims.
It should be remembered that the $5 million bounty for any leads to the arrest of Joseph Kony is still available, and as such, the Office of the Prosecutor continues to call on anyone with this information to cooperate. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
And our section of tenants of Uganda Post Limited, located on Kampala Road, has requested a waiver of their rent arrears at least until the end of December this year. They believe that this relief would allow them to reorganize their finances, attributing the arrears to challenges faced during COVID-19 pandemic. Now, some tenants who appeared before the ad hoc committee of Parliament investigating Uganda Post Limited claimed that the management terminated their tenancy agreements without valid reasons.
Allowing the post office to use money at source, it may bring some temptations for some individuals, even where management is not involved. Money may not reach the treasury post office.
The Ad Hoc Committee of Parliament conducting inquiries into Uganda Post Limited has engaged with the public, including tenants, interested parties and a former manager of Uganda Post. A former manager of Uganda Post Limited, Amonya Agre, told the committee that the management was unfair in handling partnership bids.
Unfair treatment and discrimination of some of the staff. Myself,
my contract was not renewed as an employee because I made mention why the company was using money at source, and this affected me.
Olama Donald from the NRM Chiswahili Group stated that Uganda Post Limited's reliance on overdrafts indicates poor financial management. He also suggested that Uganda Post needs to adapt modern business management practices. Committee members inquired about how Uganda Post will balance business operations with its universal services mandate.
Universal postal service, making sure that postal services reach every Ugandan as a right, even if there is no business case for it.
Do you think government has failed to run posta? And maybe it's high time we looked at maybe having a PPP or privatizing it, government selling off its shares.
I think government has not failed, but it's the management which has failed. Because if the management has realized that certain things are not running properly, have they brought to the attention of government?
Some individuals who provided information to the committee suggested capitalizing Uganda Post Limited, while others proposed a public-private partnership model.
In the circumstances, I'll prefer a private-public partnership because that will ensure that we are getting funding from outside and then we are recouping it here. It will be much easier for us to run it that way.
There are people out there who would be willing to invest their money in Posta in its current state.
Yes, they're there.
In a loss-making position.
Yes, because this is now, we are looking at now an entity which has failed. So to revamp it, so you have to come with a new strategy.
According to Karim Masaba, Uganda Post Limited was demanding 4.96 billion shillings in rent receivable in 2023. However, one tenant from Kampala Road, who appeared before the committee, is requesting a waiver on their rent areas.
Where government can come in, only for us we are requesting a waiver. And most of those debts were of collection at post office. We know they were accumulated by a number of tenants who left.
Posta has been very unfair to you. How come you have not been evicted given those areas?
COVID being the main issue, but I've seen when I do an analysis on the rent, or you've been struggling to pay even before COVID. So some of these areas are even before the pre-COVID times.
Another tenant informed the committee that they received a letter terminating their tenancy agreement on October 31st. I'm Nafka Farid and Gloria Gwetabenji at Parliament.
Office of the President through the Minister of State for Economic Monitoring is currently on a countrywide tour to assess the performance of funds given by Government for Innovations. Minister for Economic Monitoring, Beatrice Akello, says government wants to know the outcome of these innovations and how they can be commercialized.
Lira University is one of the institutions that benefited from the National Innovation Fund.
Office of the President, through the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, under the guidance of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, has been supporting innovations in this country. But now the challenge which I've got is that the uptake of this research and innovations, there's a gap between the innovators and the government on how to utilize the findings of this research works.
And then this one here,
Solomon Nechele, a student of the university, is one beneficiary of this fund.
This one here can spray the whole village.
He has developed a larvicide that targets the larval stage of mosquitoes before they mature to transmit malaria.
And this product here has 100% efficacy in killing the mosquitoes at the larval stages.
Just days ago, Anna Grace Awuma, the Dean of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, was recognized for her innovative protocol of triaging pregnant women according to their urgency of need.
And make sure the one who is in need most gets the care first.
An innovation hub should be built at Lira University. This is ongoing conversation.
The university received 500 million to undertake several innovations. The Vice-Chancellor says the fund was inadequate to fund all the projects at the university.
Translate this research into product.
The fund was to support high-impact research and innovation that addresses key gaps required to drive Uganda's development agenda. while in Lira, the minister also visited 2 juice and wine producing factories. Both Champion Wine and Babe Wine are key contributors to the economic transformation of the region, each employing over 500, including part-time workers.
All our products are pure organic, we don't put chemicals. And all the raw materials, we get them from the local community here. The lemons, we get them from here. The pineapple is where we export. We always bring them from where.
We need to listen to their issues because we don't want these big factories to collapse.
Their major challenge is high taxes and unstable prices of raw materials, yet their products' costs remain unchanged.
In a month, we pay approximately to 100 million, and we buy products close to 130 million.
Ediulwa, UBC News.
To be a winner, it requires that you exceed all the limits of mankind and womankind. But when you play with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN and pay. Congratulations, easy! Your stomach is full and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco induga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 16 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana *278# ngafuna message erikweka mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo ne bya fere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win. Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Tuba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Welcome back. Bunyoro Rwenzori leaders have called on government to make policy adjustments to ensure clear compensation plans for regions affected by government projects such as oil developments. During consultations on the draft national land policy, stakeholders criticized the bureaucratic and unclear procedures involved in compensating communities impacted by these projects.
Thinking they're bona fide. They actually don't qualify as bona fide. The law says regularize yourselves, get into negotiation with the registered landowner.
The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has started consultations on the draft national land policy in Bunyoro Rwenzori region. Leaders from 17 districts across the two regions gathered in Hoima to participate in the discussions aimed at refining the policy to address concerns arising from land conflicts.
The problem is the land. We need to find the solution. Because the majority of the women, majority of the men They are surely dying because of that.
Bunyoro in particular is home to several government projects such as oil developments, which have significantly impacted on local communities.
Under the 1975 Land Reform Decree, a lease was issued, be it in town or in rural, and that was considered or is interpreted to be public land convertible under Section 28 of the Land Act. It should come out very clear which government land is the board supposed not to convert into freehold.
During the consultations, leaders from the region urged the government to revise policies and implement clear, fair compensation plans for communities mainly affected by government projects.
Since government owns land across the country, we can have another option of having government exchanging, doing more of a barter trade between the owner of the land and the government, such that if someone owns, let us say in Hoima City, 1 acre of land, he can be given an equivalent value of the land that is owned by government in another location.
The Deputy Resident City Commissioner Hoima City, Moses Muyambi, highlighted some of the main causes of land conflicts in Bunyoro sub-region.
The people whom the government acquires land from, some of them, they are not the right people, regardless of having the documents.
Dr. Margaret Rugadia, a land expert, explained potential solutions for resolving land conflicts in the region.
People can have vibanja as large as 300 acres or 500 acres. There should be a limitation on that. And then the ownership of resources. Is it for the one who is holding the title or the chibanja holder?
Harrison Irumba, the Assistant Commissioner for Land Policy at the Ministry of Lands, also weighed in on the discussions.
The participants will be given an opportunity to validate the views and the input they gave us.
The consultations on the revised National Land Policy in Bunyoro and Rwenzori will continue tomorrow. Susan Naonga reporting for ABC TV.
Now, a reconstructed girls' dormitory at Weso Masulita Children's Home was officially unveiled today by the first daughter, Natasha Karugihire, on behalf of the First Lady, Janet Museveni. Here are some details in this report.
The importance of producing every child with a safe and conducive environment for learning and growth is essential to ensuring they have a brighter future. On Thursday, November 21st, 2024, the unveiling of the reconstructed girls' dormitory at Chiweso Children's Home in Masulita took place, with Natasha Museveni Karugihire cutting the ribbon on behalf of her mother, the First Lady, Janet Museveni.
I thank in a very special way the Liberation Generation members who came together to put this initiative together to draw attention back to Masulita, which, like Alan said, was in need of help.
In her remarks, the First Lady expressed her gratitude to the Lord for the transformative changes that have taken place in Masulita. She also thanked the fundraising groups, including Chop Gaming Limited and Toro Cement, for their contributions towards the successful completion of the girls' dormitory.
They were overwhelmed with numbers of children from Kampala, from different places, and the situation, the accommodation was really lacking. So we thank God and are really very grateful.
The growth and development of children is crucial as they contribute to the human capital investment. Jolika Johanjire, the CEO of USO, emphasized that the dormitory will provide a positive environment for the children.
We thank them so much because the buildings here they were old. They were very old. Remember, they started 38 years ago. So they were very old, and children were not able to sleep in a very good environment. Number two, the numbers have increased so much that now we need more facilities to be able to take care of all that.
Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
Meanwhile, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT, Dr. Amina Zawede, has said government has enacted legislations and signed protocols to address the rights of children. She was speaking to child stakeholders on the day to commemorate World Children's Day. The day was under the theme, empowering children in Uganda through technology and design. And she called upon government and the public to intensify digital applications that expose child abuse.
World Children's Day was characterized by exhibitions of technological advancement and different media advocacy platforms to address the plight of children in Uganda. Depending on interventions to end child abuse, innovations in ICT will expose abusers of children's rights.
As we mark 35 years of the Convention of the Rights of the Child, the most widely ratified UN convention globally, it's important for us all to recommit to uphold and protect the fundamental rights of children. They are not just the future, they are also the present.
The Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of ICT, Dr. Amina Zawede, said that when children are empowered to use technology, it is easy to advocate for their own rights.
The government of Uganda recognizes the transformative power of technology in driving socio-economic development. We acknowledge that technology today provides a foundation upon which the future is built. However, the desired transformation can only be achieved if our children, who are the very future of our nation, are not left behind. Today, we live in a world where access to technology is not a privilege, but it has become a necessity and a right.
The United Nations Children's Fund in Uganda has designed a digital platform named Fundu to enable children in schools with the necessary 21st century skills to demand for their own rights.
We have a learning platform called Fundu. It's a skilling platform where young people can acquire 21st century skills that they would not learn in class. Yeah? These are the skills that help them thrive and survive in the everyday world that we live in today. Yeah? Fundu is accessed over the mobile phone. Yeah? So UNICEF thought many of the children, many of the adults at least have access to a mobile phone. So what is it that we can do that is useful for them? So we introduced Fundu, and the comfort of your home, at your own time, in your own learning space, you can log onto this platform very easily. You send a message to 8500.
Dignitaries and child rights advocates emphasize use of digital platforms to create awareness on the rights and privileges of children.
As UCC, we have established policies and initiatives to protect children online, such as promoting child-friendly content, working with the service providers to block harmful websites, and raising awareness about online safety. But this is not a challenge we can tackle alone. Parents and caregivers, you are the first line of defense. Teach children the importance of online etiquette, the value of privacy, and the need to report anything that makes them uncomfortable.
And City Hall has charged Pakistani national for stealing 3 vehicles valued at 145 million shillings. Mashi Suhul appeared before City Hall Chief Magistrate Rehman Nasozi and denied the charges.
Prosecution alleges that Mashi Sohol and others, still at large on November 2nd, 2024 at Kisasi, Kampala district, stole 3 vehicles, registration number UBL 057Q Isuzu Alf and UBK 894D Jet, all in white. However, the magistrate granted the accused person bail of shillings 8 million cash after presenting substantial sureties through his lawyer. His sureties were each bonded at shillings 15 million, not cash.
Declined to grant bail to the accused person, having found that he has fulfilled all the requirements stipulated to the satisfaction of the court.
The magistrate also ordered the accused to deposit his travel documents with court and cautioned him not to interfere with the other accused persons who are still at large.
And shall therefore surrender all his travel documents to the court until after completion of this hearing. Each of the sureties is bonded at 15 million shillings. The applicant is cautioned to desist from any temptation of interfering with any of the investigations or the arrests of any of the accused persons that are still pending arrest, failure of which will lead to the cancellation of this hearing.
Kanta Mahul Ahmed, a complainant, narrated how it all happened.
I went for the open heart surgery, so I was not around. So they got a chance. They went to those people who are buying second-hand trucks in Kawempe, in Waise. They sold to them at that. Please, I'm requesting that I should recover my trucks back from these thieves. And those people who bought the truck illegally, they are stolen trucks. They are not supposed to buy. So the investigation is going on.
He now urges the Pakistan High Commission not to grant visas to such people until the court sets them free.
So as 3 trucks are a lot to me, it means a lot to me. It was my transport. I was making my bread from those trucks. So my request to the court, the court and the police department, that please, I'm requesting that I should recover my trucks back from these thieves. And those people who bought the truck illegally, they are stolen trucks. They are not supposed to buy. So the investigation is going on at Kira Road Police Station.
And the Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, has urged Ugandan farmers to increase organic food production to promote healthier lifestyles and boost household incomes. The Commissioner for Crop Protection, Stephen Bwantwale, represented Frank Tumwebaze at the annual Organic Week 2024 organized by National Organic Agricultural Movement of Uganda at Lugogo Uma Showgrounds.
The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, has commended the National Organic Agricultural Movement of Uganda for providing a platform to engage stakeholders in advancing the organic industry. The Commissioner for Crop Protection, Stephen Bwantwale, represented Frank Tumwebaze at the annual Organic Week 2024, organized by the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda, NOGAMU, at Lugogo Uma Showgrounds.
Uganda has set itself as a center of excellence of organic farming and is home to some of the best organic innovations in the world. Thank you for appreciating the country. And we thank all of those who have put in a lot of energy to reach this far.
The Chief Executive Director of NOGAMU, Chariton Namuwoza, highlighted growing investor confidence in Uganda's organic sector, largely driven by the enactment of the National Organic Policy 2019.
We are increasingly seeing a number of challenges on the global market levels, where most of our farmers can no longer afford to attain certification because of the new EU regulation and the tightening regulations in other major international markets. I would like to put this to you, sir, that we need to invest in the capacity building of our farmers, get them organized, and for the first or 2-3 years, as they are getting started with organic certification, we request that government considers investing in the initial certification cost.
The Netherlands ambassador to Uganda, Frederick Quispo, emphasized the importance of the organic movement, noting its alignment with the Netherlands and European Union's focus on environmental sustainability and the rising demand of organic products.
Uganda's organic agriculture sector faces severe challenges, including fragmented value chains, limited market access, and inadequate support services. However, these challenges also present opportunities for collaboration. By working together, we can overcome these barriers and unlock the full potential of organic agriculture in Uganda.
The week-long event also featured the launch of the National PGS Council and the Nogamu Academy, both of which aim to strengthen stakeholder capacity in the organic industry.
To have a better and healthy community, we have to have a healthy food. And this food has to start from healthy soil. So we have to reduce on the use of chemicals, or we have to eliminate the use of chemicals, because our food is filled with chemicals that are harmful to our bodies. Therefore, our organic food is better.
We are here at Uma Showgrounds, Lugogo, for an exhibition to showcase our different products that we are already selling that are on the market. So we encourage everyone that is so interested in value addition to reach out to us for wisdom, and we share more. And also customers who are interested in our products, yogurt, ghee, cheese, to also reach out to us.
Participants lauded organic farming for its health and environmental benefits, underlining its potential for national and international markets.
And the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Twine, has signed contracts for the upgrading and equipping of over 30 health facilities in the Karamoja sub-region. The project is expected to be completed within 18 months at a cost of 10 million euros under the Karamoja Infrastructure Development Project 2, funded by the Italian government.
The Ministry of Health is in the process of upgrading and equipping health facilities and hospitals in the Karamoja region with funds from the Italian government amounting to 10 million euros. Dr. Diana Twine, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Health, signed the contracts in the presence of various contractors who will be part of the projects under the Karamoja Infrastructure Development Project 2. Atwine cautioned the contractors to adhere to the stipulated time frame, the allocated finances and the scope of work, warning that any company that does shoddy work will be blacklisted.
We are not going to have variations, and I want to mention this right from the start, because I have seen that some people have this habit that if you are working for government, you can always do variations and they will find the money. This money is strictly dedicated to these facilities, which I'm going to read here, and we are not going to come back to government to ask finance to look for more money. So we expect you to be diligent with your resources and make sure that you do very good work, because I can assure you, for me, this time around, if you don't do good work, there are some people here who came and I had issues with them, but I said I'm not going to go into the fight. Let this one be a unique experience for us that will not have any quarrel, will not pull strings with you. We want you to take care of the facilities, and please take care of the social and environmental safeguards.
This project will be a success because you know that on success you can build next. And on our side we have some transformation. Uganda has become a priority country, so that one can allow us to identify additional resources easier.
All the districts in the Karamoja region are set to benefit, and some of the facilities include:
we are going to upgrade Katabok Health Center 2 to Health Center 3. Karita, we are going to upgrade Karita Health Center 3 to Health Center 4. In Amdat Town Council, we are going to do some infrastructure upgrade in Amdat General Hospital. In Abim, we are going to work in Awach sub-county, and here we'll be constructing a new Awach Health Center 3. In Magamaga sub-county in Abim, we shall be constructing Wilela Health Center 3. Still in Abim, we are going to upgrade Arembola Health Center 2 to Health Center 3.
Given Karamoja's unique circumstances, the Permanent Secretary advised local leaders to take up ownership of the project and urged the contractors not to use insecurity as an excuse for delays.
we have alerted the leaders in Karamoja to supervise daily and night to make sure that we have value for money, because that is their project. It is a unique also region because their soils are a bit different. Pay attention to the soils of Karamoja. And I believe when you are coming up with your BOQs, you are taking care of the soils in Karamoja.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, business news.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store, or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy, Wanawori.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mold Technologies, your professional research firm.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Hundreds of sugarcane farmers in Busoga sub-region have united to form a single cohesive association. This alliance marks a strategic effort to enhance their bargaining power when negotiating prices for their produce, a critical aspect for their economic well-being.
The decision by sugarcane farmers in Busoga to form a unified association emerged from a recent meeting addressing common challenges.
So it has been hard moving together with one voice, given those different strata of organizations for farmers, which are governed by different laws. So right now we realize that we need to have a single voice.
The discussions highlighted the difficulties of negotiating as separate entities, which often led to inconsistent and less favorable outcomes for the farmers.
If you make a farmer not realize any profit out of his sweat, then what will you be eating in the future? The farmer will instead uproot the sugarcane. Two, you will not be having whatever the sugarcane to be supplied at the mill.
Recognizing the strength in unity, the farmers decided that a single association would provide a stronger, more influential voice in the marketplace.
How do we harmonize issues within the industry so that we can, at the end of the day, have profitable activities within the industry, such that the farmer can gain, can benefit, support himself and his family, but also grow, and also the sugar millers, we want to make sure that they provide the services that can ensure that a sustainable industry is being run.
Meanwhile, in Kampala, various stakeholders reached a consensus on amending the Sugar Act of 2020 to enhance the pricing formula.
So we are happy that there is now a consensus position. This consensus position will help us to go back to the House after Cabinet and amend the Act, and then be able to protect the interests of the farmers, the interests of the millers, and regulate the sector in a better way.
The regulatory impact assessment by the Economic Policy Research Center emphasized the need to improve coordination at all levels of sugarcane cultivation.
Sugarcane generates a number of products. The focus in our law and our policies was mainly on sugar alone, one product. But there are thousands of products that can come out of sugarcane. So the agreement that has been reached now on pricing is to say, instead of basing the price on only one product, sugar, now the price is going to be based on 3 products: sugar, molasses, and bagasse.
Cayenne Faith and Oko Joseph for UBC.
Brought to you by...
Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. Wendy Wanaori.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight for now. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details. Dorothy Namuyomba on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Good evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Atekere segment. Did you know the Atekere are Jewish? How did they become Karamojong, Iteso, and Lango?
When Lango people reached Karamoja, the Karamojong remained there. The Itesos proceeded.
Those were the youth.
The Karamojong said, no, we are going to die there.
And the elders cast them, Ites. So that is how the name Ateso comes from.
Lango was respected and feared for his military might.
Kavalega, together with Mwanga,
ran for safety in